If you have ever entered a trade correctly, yet watched your account bleed, if you have done everything by the book and the market still turned its back on you, then perhaps the problem was never the strategy. The market does not lie, but it never speaks plainly either. It leaves traces in volume, in the way price reacts, and in your own emotions as you stand in front of the screen. This video does not teach you how to win fast. It teaches you how to survive long enough for the market to eventually pay you. Do you hear something? That is the sound of the market. It has never known how to lie, but only those who are willing to stop and truly listen can understand what it is screaming. I was once lost in the financial desert. Back then, I chased news, I chased indicators, I fell into false breakouts, swallowed bull traps whole, and got caught in short squeezes at the exact moment I believed I was right. And after each of those moments, my account grew smaller. I slowly lost faith, not in the market, but in myself. Until one day, I met him, a teacher who never taught me how to make money. He only taught me how to survive. He passed on to me something no book could ever teach, how to hear the market's voice through volume and price behavior. He said a sentence I still remember word for word. Price is only the mask. Price action is the actor, but volume is the director, the only one who knows what is truly happening behind the camera. From that day on, I began to watch the market as if it were a film. Each candle became a frame, each pump, each sudden jump, a moment of tension, and volume stood silently behind it all, the director who decides everything, yet never says a word. You are listening to Quiet Trading, a place where strategies do not come from textbooks, but are born from blood, tears, and the painful experience of those who walked this road before you. If you have ever traded exactly as taught and still been slapped by the market without mercy, if you have ever asked yourself where you went wrong, then this podcast is for you. No empty theory, no decoration, only real combat. Everything here is distilled from hundreds of blown accounts, thousands of hours watching the market, and countless sleepless nights spent trying to understand why price reacted the way it did. I still remember it clearly. There was a time I shorted gold at an extremely strong resistance, a perfect pin bar straight out of the textbook. The setup was almost flawless. I was convinced it would collapse. 10 minutes later, price broke the high. My stop loss was hit. My account started bleeding. I reopened the chart, stayed silent, watched the volume, and right at that pullback, the volume weakened. In that moment, I understood something. Price can deceive. Volume cannot. In this episode, I will share the entire system my teacher left behind, how to read volume as a study of crowd behavior, how to distinguish real volume from the artificial volume created by smart money to burn retail traders, how to combine candlestick price action with volume breakout signals to recognize what is real and what is merely a trap, and the strategy I still use every single day to stay ahead of crashes that the crowd never understands, not even after they happen. This is not knowledge that everyone has access to. This is the blood of the market, drawn out after moments when everything seemed already lost. Quiet Trading, thank you for staying and listening, because you are still here in a world where 90% have quietly walked away from the market. Do not leave, because what comes next is a secret only survivors ever touch. How to recognize the true intent of the sharks. I want to open this part with a truth very few are willing to face. The market is not fair. It is controlled by those who have money and time. Small retail traders, you and me in my earlier days, are merely prey in a game that was designed long before we arrived. But there is still a way to hear the footsteps of giants. You look at volume. Volume, trading volume, is the trace sharks leave behind when they move. They can hide their orders, they can disguise their intentions, but they cannot hide volume. Imagine this. A breakout happens during the Asian session. Price pushes through resistance, but volume is nearly dry. What is that? It is not a real breakout. It's a trap, a spark strike, a familiar trick designed to pull you into the wrong position before the real blow lands behind the scenes. When volume is low during a breakout, it tells you there is no real money standing behind the move, no commitment, no conviction from the big players. In other words, the sharks were never there. So when does real volume reveal itself? It appears when price returns to test a support zone after a violent drop. Right at that point, a candle with a long lower wick forms. The volume suddenly expands, unnaturally large. The activity surges as if someone is absorbing everything the crowd just threw away in panic. A few sessions later, the market reverses. To those who do not read volume, it looks like a meaningless turnaround. But to those who understand volume, they know it was a plan, a scene already staged. Volume is the director, and if you want to survive in this film, you must learn to read the script the director is silently writing. I want to share with you 3 survival principles when using volume to recognize the true intent of the sharks. 1. Volume must move with price action, never against it. If a reversal candlestick appears but volume weakens, walk away. If there is a breakout but volume does not expand, question it. Price is the voice, volume is the gaze. People can lie with words, but their eyes never do, and volume is the market's honest eyes. 2. Volume only matters when it appears at meaningful areas. Sharks never strike in the middle of nowhere. They act where it matters. Support, resistance, long accumulation zones, or places where retail traders are confused and vulnerable. If you see volume surge in a meaningless zone with no clear structure, be cautious. Real volume always leaves a footprint. 3. Volume needs time to be confirmed. Do not rush. Volume is a sign of behavior, not a button to enter a trade. Do not jump in just because you see a large volume bar. Wait. Wait for the market structure to confirm. Wait for price to hold above support or below resistance, and for price action to show a clear reaction. Volume is not for the impatient. Only when you are calm enough does volume become a weapon instead of turning into a trap. The market does not require you to be brilliant or a genius. It only needs you to know which side you are standing on. And when you learn to stand on the side of volume, you are standing next to the director, behind the scenes, seeing the shots before they begin. I know there's a question many of you are asking yourselves. I understand volume now, but how do I act? How do I know when sharks are truly entering and when it is just a performance? The answer is here. Volume tells you who is present. Price action tells you what they are doing. These two cannot be separated. Volume is the light shining backstage. Price action is the play unfolding right in front of your eyes. When you learn to combine both, traps are no longer frightening, and real breakouts become as clear as daylight. Let me share a real example from my own account. There was a time I was watching Euro-USD approach a very strong resistance zone. This level had been rejected for more than 3 months. Suddenly, a strong bullish candle broke straight through it. At first glance, it looked exactly like a textbook breakout. But I did not rush. I stopped. I did not enter the trade because volume did not support the move. The volume on the breakout candle was lower than the previous 3 sessions. I became suspicious. I waited one more session, and just as I sensed, price reversed.
Not a gentle pullback, but a straight vertical drop, as if dragged down. A complete trap. And I was still standing outside, safe. I am not better than anyone else. I am not someone with special talent. I am simply someone who knows how to listen to what the market is saying through volume, and to observe how it behaves through each candle. At this point, I want you to remember 3 core principles when combining volume with price action. First, when volume expands and price action is clear, that is a real trade. When price breaks through a strong resistance zone accompanied by a surge in volume, significantly higher than the recent average, and then the market pulls back to retest the broken level. If price holds and volume weakens during the retest, that is a real trade. Smart money has already entered. That is the moment you can follow, with a clearly defined stop loss. Second, if price action looks perfect but volume does not increase, it is a trap. You see a strong bullish candle, a clean rejection, a textbook pin bar, yet volume stays flat or even declines. There is no real money involved, only the crowd believing price will continue higher. That is a trap, and the most dangerous traps are always the ones you desperately want to believe are real. Third, if volume surges strongly but price action becomes messy, the sharks are acting in silence. You see price moving sideways, small candles, long wicks, unclear bodies, yet volume is unusually high. In those moments, I never rush, because when sharks move, they do not leave obvious footprints. They quietly accumulate or distribute without noise. And if you are calm enough to mark that price zone, a few sessions later, when price explodes, you will know exactly which side to stand on. You see, beautiful price action without volume confirmation is just a stage without an audience. Large volume without clear price direction is an incomplete signal. But when both appear together, confirming each other, that is when you act. I know you have been confused before, staring at the chart, not knowing whether to enter or stay out. I've been there too, and then I understood something. A trader is not someone who predicts direction. A trader is someone who reads the flow before it fully forms. And that flow always begins with volume, then gets confirmed by price action. I know that after everything you have heard so far, you're probably waiting for one question. So how do I actually enter a trade? This is where I tell you about the system my teacher passed down to me, the one that helped me survive for years through every market condition, from calm to chaos. A system that is simple yet highly effective. No indicators, no decoration, only 3 elements: volume, reaction zones, and price action. Step 1. Identify meaningful price zones, areas where the market reacted strongly before. I always start by drawing zones, not randomly, but finding places where price clearly reversed or was rejected multiple times. They may be old highs, old lows, long consolidation ranges, or filled gaps. These are the places where sharks have already left their marks, and the market, sooner or later, will come back to test them again.
I do not care what indicators are saying. I look only at a clean chart, because I do not need to predict. I only need to know where the game is likely to begin. Step 2. Wait for price action to appear at the identified zone. I do not enter the moment price touches the area. I wait. I need price behavior to speak. If it is a resistance zone, I want to see rejection candles, long upper wicks. If it is a support zone, I wait for a pin bar or a bullish engulfing candle. I need evidence. I need to see the market react, not just pass through and move on. This is where patience is required. Not every touch produces a strong reaction, but when the reaction becomes clear, that is when you step in. Step 3. Volume must confirm price behavior. This is where volume shows its role.
I look at the reaction candle and observe whether volume stands out. If volume is weak, I stay out. If volume is strong and the candle shows clear rejection, I know something just happened. Sharks never act loudly, but they always leave footprints, and those footprints are volume. Step 4. Enter with a clear risk management structure. I never trade on luck. I place my stop loss just beyond the nearest high or low, and I only enter when the minimum risk-reward ratio is 2 to 1. I do not chase price. I do not FOMO. I do not pray. I enter because everything aligns: the zone, the price behavior, and volume confirmation. A real example from my own trading. I still remember a short trade on GBP JPY not long ago. Price had rallied strongly, then reached an old supply zone I had marked 2 weeks earlier. Right there, a strong rejection candle appeared. A long upper wick, a bearish body engulfing the previous candle. Volume surged, nearly twice the 10 sessions average. I entered right after the candle closed. Stop loss above the wick. Take profit 3 times the risk. The result? Price fell like a knife. That trade delivered over 6% profit in just 3 days. But more important than the profit was the feeling of certainty when entering. No confusion, no guessing, no shaky hands. You see, trading is not about predicting direction. Trading is about reading behavior. And when you combine volume, reaction zones, and price action, you are no longer prey. You become the hunter. I want you to understand this clearly. The system I just shared is not a trick, not a short-term tactic. It is a trading philosophy, a way of seeing the market through the eyes of a true hunter. Because here, you are no longer the prey. You are proactive. You do not chase price. You do not rush in when the market is already full of blood. You stalk, you observe, you wait, and then you strike decisively at the right moment. You are the hunter. The market is the prey. A good hunter does not shoot constantly. They hide behind the bushes. They watch the animal move. They wait until it steps into the right zone, the right angle, and in a brief moment, they pull the trigger. The same way, you do not trade every hour, every minute. You find price zones with old footprints. You wait for price behavior to reveal itself. You wait for volume to confirm. And when all conditions align, you place a single trade with the certainty of a sniper. The beauty of this system is that it is not limited to any single market. I have used it across many battlefields. In the Forex market, currency pairs move clearly by session. True volume is not displayed directly on MetaTrader, but if you understand how to read volume as tick volume or switch to TradingView, you can still clearly recognize the moments when the market is being pulled by a larger hand. In the crypto market, a place filled with chaos, overlapping news, and emotions constantly pulled to the extreme. But precisely because of that, volume becomes even more reliable. When sharks begin to accumulate, you will see volume being pumped between candles that appear lifeless on the surface. When they distribute, you will immediately notice sharp rejections with heavy volume, leaving behind the scattered remains of retail traders. Price action in crypto is often very explicit. Reaction zones on Bitcoin, Ethereum, or altcoins tend to work remarkably well if you are patient enough to observe. As for derivatives markets and index contracts, derivatives are a battlefield of speed. Volume and price behavior unfold very quickly. But if you stay disciplined within the system, identify the zone, wait for behavioral signals, let volume confirm, and manage the trade with clarity, you will not only take clean trades, but also capture powerful waves, capturing them fully in a short amount of time. The difference is this: you no longer act on emotion. You do not buy simply because price is rising. You do not sell just because you hear bad news. You act based on structure, based on reaction, based on the footprints of money flow. And as I said from the beginning, sharks can lie through news, but they cannot hide volume. This is not a formula to get rich overnight. This is a formula to survive for the long term. This system will not make you wealthy in a week, but it will keep you from bleeding foolishly. It allows you to stay standing while others burn their accounts one by one. And if you remain long enough, the market will pay you back, fairly. I want you to remember this. In the market, you are not paid because you are smart. You are paid because you are patient and know when to act. With the mindset of a hunter, you do not enter a trade because you feel like it. You enter only when everything aligns: the zone, the price behavior, and volume. If what I have shared so far has made you nod, has made the road ahead feel clearer, then don't keep it to yourself. Send this video to a fellow warrior, a brother still struggling in the market, someone who once called you at midnight just to ask you whether they should hold a position, someone who has blown an account yet returned because of a dream they couldn't let go. Send it to them. Sometimes one video at the right moment is enough to save a trader from one more wrong trade. But at this point, I want you to pause for a moment and turn inward, because there is one thing no volume can measure, no price pattern can point to, and no system can save you from: your emotions. It is not the market that makes you lose. You do it to yourself. You have entered in the right direction, then taken profit too early out of fear. You have placed a stop loss, then dragged it lower with your own hand. You knew you should not enter, but you saw others making money, so you jumped in. I understand. I was you once, and I lost, not because of the market, but because of the fear and greed inside my own head. Trading is a battle between the mind and the gut. When you enter a trade, you act with logic, but when the trade moves against you, you react with emotion. Your heart beats faster, your hand starts zooming into the chart, you doubt everything, and the most dangerous moment is this: when you stop following the system and start acting on survival instinct. But the market does not pay instincts. The market pays those whose discipline is stronger than their emotions. I want you to carve these 3 things into memory. First, do not fight to be right. Fight to stay in the game. Traders fail because they obsess over predicting the market. Survivors understand that mistakes are part of the game. You only need to be right enough. Protect your capital and let profits grow on their own. I do not enter the market to prove anything. I enter to find opportunity. And when there is no opportunity, I step aside. Second, discipline is the only thing you truly control. You do not control price. You do not control news. You do not know what sharks will do today, but you control your response. When you follow the system, when you respect your stop loss, you are protecting yourself from the madness of the market. Third, emotions are not wrong. Acting on them is. Fear is normal. Greed is instinct. Anxiety is reflex. But if you let those emotions drive your actions, you will enter when the market is weak and take profit too early when it is strong. I do not need you to become emotionless. I only want you to recognize your emotions and make decisions through the system, not through adrenaline. There is a small ritual that has saved me from countless losses. Before every trade, I ask myself 3 questions. Is this price inside a prepared zone? Is there a clear price action signal? Does volume confirm? If all 3 answers are yes, I enter. If even one answer is no, I stay out. No hesitation, no negotiation with myself. That is how I turned my system into a psychological shield, and you can do the same, starting today. You see, the greatest enemy is not out there. It is inside your head, whispering every time you are about to enter a trade. Just try this once, maybe it will work. It's about to reverse, hold a little longer. Don't cut the loss, it will come back. And when you listen to that voice, you shoot yourself in the foot and then blame the market. Trading is not a game for the fast, it is a game for the steady. When you conquer yourself, you will survive long enough to conquer the market. If you are still listening at this point, I know you are no longer chasing short-term excitement. You are entering a different phase of your trading journey, a phase where emotions no longer hold the wheel. where the system is no longer memorized but becomes reflex. No need to prove anything, just walk the right path and strike at the right moment. Those who go far in this market never need to prove themselves. They do not show off winning trades. They do not post account screenshots online. They do not seek recognition. They understand one simple thing. The market does not care who you are. It only pays those who understand the rules and move in the right rhythm. They act less, but every action carries weight. They do not enter trades every hour. They do not FOMO when others are making money. They do not open charts to hunt for opportunities. They wait for the market to reveal them. Some weeks there is only one trade, but that trade is prepared over many days. And when it triggers, their hands do not shake. They do not hesitate. They act as if they have already seen something ahead of time. They do not trade to win. They trade to avoid being eliminated from the game. Those who last in this market are not obsessed with winning every trade. They do not try to be right all the time. They only make sure they are never wrong too deeply. They manage capital as if every dollar were oxygen. They place stop losses not out of fear, but out of understanding that they are not all-powerful. When they are wrong, they cut losses cleanly. When they are right, they let trades run like farmers waiting for harvest. They turn trading into a natural part of life. No pressure to make a certain amount today. No excessive excitement when winning. No collapse when losing. They look at the market the way one looks at weather. Some days are sunny. Some days it rains. Sometimes there are storms. Their job is to prepare, not to judge. For them, trading is no longer a game, but a steady rhythm of life, calm, natural, and reliable. I was once impatient, and I had to relearn everything through my own mistakes. I chased every candle. I fell asleep in front of the screen with anxiety still burning inside me. I entered trades simply because I was afraid of missing out. But after enough loss, I understood one thing. Trading is not for the impatient. Trading is a game for those who know how to wait, how to choose, and how to survive. Quiet trading bows in gratitude. Thank you for walking with me to the end of this journey. In a trading world full of traps, your presence gives this story meaning. If you found something valuable in this video, leave a like, a comment, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who are still searching for direction. I am Quiet Trading, and I am always here, not to make you better, but to help you understand the market and understand yourself more clearly.